This is the last of a series of videos I've made on the fairly new that came out this year, the Alto Busker. That's the speaker you see on top. $350 as we speak. And just to recap the videos I've made on the Alto Busker, if you haven't seen them, I encourage you to go back and see them if possible. But I've been matching that little speaker up with subwoofers, because that's the way you get full range sound with a 6.5 inch woofer. You're not going to get the bass that you're looking for. So if you want full range, you need a subwoofer. So I started with a $200 subwoofer called the Presonus. That worked out nice, maybe for a bedroom, small space. And then I went to the next level, and that was a $400 subwoofer, KRK, which happens to be a studio subwoofer, but it really puts out some really nice bass. So that would be for a larger room, maybe a den. So today's video is the next step again. So what would happen if you took that very inexpensive speaker, probably the most inexpensive portable PA speaker that I can think of, $350, and matched it up with a $900 subwoofer? Would that be ridiculous or a mismatch? So that's what we're here to do today, to talk about that and give a quick sound demo, and I'll let the buyers decide. Now, because of that mismatch of price, although doubling the price to go for a subwoofer, people who don't have that kind of funds, if it does work out, because I really haven't done much testing with this, so today I'll determine if it works or it's just a waste of money. But for the people who don't have $900 for a subwoofer, I would encourage you to look for the Behringer B1200. Now, I've never actually heard that subwoofer, but I've read some really good reviews. Puts out some high dBs, I believe like 120, which is pretty good. And it's only $350. So it matches the top perfectly as far as price. So that's my recommendation if you don't have the funds. But if you have deep pockets and you're looking for the best sound, this Bose Sub1, that's the subwoofer you see on the bottom there, is my recommendation at $900. Now, people might be asking, well, how about the EV-ELX 12 that you recommended and said it was better than the Sub1, and I still agree with that. That's $800, $100 less, but it's heavier. So if I was taking something like that Alto micro small top, I would be looking for my lightest subwoofer. I wouldn't want to go with the 42-pound EV, and it's kind of bigger in size, form factor, fitting in the car. So I would pick this up. I really liked the Bose Sub1. It's very easily carried, 36 pounds, and it has a nice handle on top, and it has a grab handle on bottom. So I find it really easy to carry, and I've said in the past, kind of carries like a large airport suitcase without the wheels, unfortunately. But that's pretty much the size of it. As you see in this position, horizontal, you lay it down on its side, and you have a pole mount. The pole, I got that on Sweetwater. I can give you the link if you're interested, $30. And then it takes one XLR cable from the top to the sub, $20. Altogether, $1,300 system. So that's what we're talking about today. If you look in the background, I do have an external battery source. It's not needed for the top because the Alto is battery operated, but the Sub1 is not internal battery, unfortunately. I would like to see that in the future. So that's why I have that external battery source. I can put the link down again, 600 watts, and it runs the Bose Sub1 with no problem. Be careful, the Sub1 does pull some juice, so if you try to get away with 400 watts or less, it's probably not going to work. I have tried that, and it shut down on me with a 400 watt unit. Today, the sound demo is in a hallway, but if you look to the right, it's on a second floor balcony, and it's completely opened up area is opened up that goes into the living room and a high cathedral ceiling. So I don't know how many square feet this is going to be filling, but it's this little system. If you like the sound, it's going to be filling a very, very large, I would even say huge space. I keep taking it for granted that my viewers that are watching right now have seen the other Alto videos I made. Well, not necessarily, right? you might want to go back and watch them. But anyway, one of the great things about the Alto, besides the size, obviously you can see that the minuscule size of this speaker, 2 of them can fit in one carry bag that a normal 10-inch speaker can fit in. But it's the weight. This is the lightest speaker out there, 12 pounds. You know, the S1 Pro at 16 pounds is getting heavy, right? But no, it's that 12-pound weight that's just incredible. But the other incredible thing is this thing is louder than the S1 Pro. It's rated at 106 dB, where the S1 Pro is 103. 3 dB is considerable. Matter of fact, in my own testing, when I add a second speaker, it usually adds 3 dB. So this is like having a pair of S1 Pros, believe it or not. The high end is very clean. I hope you can hear that in the sound demo I'm about to do. But the downside is the bass. It's lacking. That's where the S1 Pro has a little fuller mid-range and bass. This little speaker, and by the way, they both have a 6.5-inch woofer, but Bose is known for their nice mid-range. So that's what's lacking in the Alto. It's kind of lean in the low end, but my solution is right below it, adding a subwoofer. And you don't have to add a $900 subwoofer, as the other video showed. You can just add something small, like a $200 subwoofer, and it'll add those missing frequencies. But when you do add a subwoofer, hopefully this video will prove it, it really is an impressive system. $1,300 system, what do you get if you spend more? Well, if you spend $1,900, $600 more, then you go up to the Bose Pro 16. But you know, you can always spend more. This subwoofer, the Sub1, is equal to the sub section of the Pro 16. But that's for another video. Well, here's the proof. Proof is in the pudding, as they say. I have never tested this for a max volume test, especially in a wide open space, like I mentioned. Very large square footage. 104.7, that is very impressive. The Bose S1 Pro, I can never get that thing past 101 maybe, or even 100, 101 let's say. But this is pushing 105 dB in a wide space, very impressive. And by the way, this is without the subwoofer. This is just the Alto. So we'll connect the sub, and we'll see how that comes at the end of the video. So this first sound demo is going to be just the top. Even though you're going to see the subwoofer on the bottom, it is not connected. I want you to hear just the Alto, and then we'll A/B it with the sub. So here we go, sound demo. And by the way, the track is something I created 2 years ago. That's how long I've been doing this channel. And it's a track that I created myself on GarageBand, so there'll be no copyright issues. But it's an interesting track. It has some nice high end, and when that subwoofer kicks in, it handles the lows too. So here we go. First track, just the Alto. Hope you heard that clean high end, and it never clipped. My testing procedure is I use hearing protection. I turn up my source, which happens to be my cell phone. I turn that up to max, and then I keep turning up the speaker until I see a red clip light, and then I back it off. That's how I got the almost 105 dB. That was before clipping. So it would have gone higher. And, you know, you can have a little bit of red light clipping and it won't damage the speaker. So I'm sure this speaker can go up to 106 dB like the specs, which is kind of very unusual actually from all my testing. Most of my speakers never get close to the specs, and this one does. Interesting. Okay, next sound demo. I did the same thing. I leveled the subwoofer and I'm having it at 12 noon, and there is no clipping. As a matter of fact, I didn't even push it until I saw red, because there's plenty of bass integrating with the top. But that would be another separate test, how high the subwoofer can go before clipping. But that's not the object of this video. The object of this video is, what does a $900 subwoofer add to a $350 top? Is it something worthwhile, or is it overpowering, or is it a waste of money for you, the listener, to decide? But I do want to warn you, bass does not translate very well to YouTube. It's probably because of the microphone I'm using. My iPhone 13 isn't exactly a high-tech microphone, and I'm not going to invest in a high-tech mic. I invest in speakers. So here we go. Next, same track, but this time with the subwoofer. And we'll see if the dB meter jumps up much. Usually it doesn't. Low bass doesn't add a lot of dBs. I was under the impression it would, but that was when I first started out with all this testing. It adds a little bit, but not much. So here we go, same track with subwoofer engaged. Oh my, did you hear that bass? I hope you did. Well, the short answer of this video is yes. If you have the money, when you go to a real subwoofer, a live PA subwoofer, and compare it to what I showed you the last time, a studio sub, for $400, when you jump up to $800 or $900, it's night and day difference. The house was literally shaking, and like I mentioned a couple of times, huge space. So this top, this little 12 pounds top, can stay right with the sub. The sub did not overpower the top. Very impressive. So I think this is a great combination for a portable PA micro system. I don't think it can get much better, actually. A Pro 8, Bose Pro 8, would have a louder high end. That goes up to 123 compared to 106, but it wouldn't have the low end of this Sub1. You would have to go to the Pro 16 to beat this system, and that is $600 more. So that's your choice. To me, this is very portable. It's modular. You can take just the top for busking or maybe for a monitor, and then you can take the sub and the top for the whole system as needed. One of the weaknesses of the Sub1, in my opinion, is you can mount the sub pole only in the horizontal where you saw the sub lying down. I would like to see a pole mount on top here in the vertical position, but maybe Bose is listening. They can give me a commission. But for the people who like this look, I guess you could put the subwoofer maybe against the wall to get some more bass response, and you can put the the top next to your DJ table or in another location. Some people like this look a little better. It looks more like a column array. It's up to you, personal preference. In summary, the answer is yes, this was a success. As far as mix and match videos that I do, this is a great pairing. To me, this is probably maybe my my #1 micro system right now. It used to be my S1 Pro over the Sub1, but to me, this is better. It's louder, it's cleaner. This has a better high end than the S1 Pro. And of course, the Sub1 has proved its merit again. It's just a beast. It's a little tank. It's an amazing sub. And I just love the fact that it's 36 pounds. That's why it's my #1 mobile sub. I know you guys are saying, but what about the EV? You've talked about, yeah, that's 6 pounds heavier and the form factor is more of a squarish. I like this one when I'm talking mobile. But if I'm talking performance, yes, the EV is higher performing. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. It was, like I mentioned, this is the first time I paired these up, first time I've actually tested these together. So it was interesting, and I'm very surprised about the dB level I got. Pretty high, pretty good sound. If you got 2 of those altos, then you separate them for a stereo spread with 1 subwoofer. It'll be really an incredible little system. I'm going to leave you with just playing that last subsection on the Sub1, and I just want to show you there's no red light and the house is shaking. Okay, this is Bill. Hope you enjoyed. Later.